That's the Stream Deck.
Quit playing.
And I'm vlogging it too. Gas showed up. What's happening?
Yeah.
Someone doesn't sound too
Yes.
sure about that.
He's so mad.
About to drive a Ferrari F430. What up, though? What up, though? What up, though? What it do? Welcome back to part 2. I'm here with the squad. Got my co-host with me. Everybody that's from the Inept squad. Got Mo, LV, Mel, Mark, and Amber. Missing a few of the key members. Somebody got bubble gut, so he ain't gonna make it. But yeah, I'm putting Zoe out there. He got the bubblies. But anyway.
Peeing out his ass. That's what he doing.
Just terrible, man. So this is gonna be part 2, man. Alpha male versus alpha women, man. Which one are you? Which one do you choose? But before we get into everything, let's talk about, do our normals, man. What we do for the week. Money Mo, you want to go first?
Yeah, that's cool. What I do this week? I don't technically remember. I worked, of course. I finally put lights in my background, so I finally do not have a virtual background. That's one of the things that I did. And these are not like I wanted to do it professionally. It was just I had all these LED lights laying around. I had new ones that I didn't even use. And I just said, you know what, I'm just throw them up here. I didn't do nothing professional. I just threw it. And I got this LifeX light that I spent like $60 on that been sitting for about 4 months that I never put up.
God.
I was like, all right, let me go ahead and just put this up there and quit playing.
Keep buying stuff and not using it, boy. I tell you, must be nice.
Well, I mean, hey, it is what it is for now.
For sure.
But yeah, I don't remember anymore what I did this week.
That's funny, man. That's heavy or some shit, bro. He had a wild week. Vizzle, what about you, big dog?
Hey?
Who knows? Do you know?
Look at him.
You know? No, I had a pretty good week at work, man. That's all I did was work. Catch up on some games, finish up some games over here. That's about it.
Got you. All right. Smelly Mel, what's good? What about you?
What we have to do?
Smelly Mel. Wow.
What I do? I've been off work for like the first 2 weeks of the year, but this week I just got back, and it was a struggle because I was getting comfortable not being at work, but did some hair.
Look here, I'm gonna need you to I need that paint to go right here so I can have my line back.
Man, I'm gonna tell you
You got
something.
me? Or you can cut all this off and I'll put the wig on with the waves. And then
I
I'll be
did
straight.
see one of those with the headband. That shit look real as hell. Hey, yo, Marky Mark, what about you, big dog?
I became a kingpin. For some odd reason, I went out there in the mean streets and I knocked over the first little nigga I saw, took over his corner, and then I ended up owning half Atlanta. I was like, whoa, it's easy.
All right, so Amber, how was your week?
What's up? Ashley, Alex, what's up? My boo's in here.
Let's talk about some real life situations that happen.
Well, I guess I'll take over my turn. This week, so I've been going to work and kind of realized I have a little dilemma. I had a weird moment where I realized that what I'm going to school for, I have other interests on top of that. So I'm like kind of trying to figure out if I really want to pursue what I'm currently pursuing, which is clinical mental health counseling. I don't know. I got to figure some stuff out because I want to look into psychology more so, but it's like different requirements for different sides. So I'm like, okay, let me just try to figure that out. But on the fun note, we saw Megan yesterday.
Was it a good movie?
It was, it
Stallion?
was it was pretty
No.
good. No, Megan the
it's-
movie.
it's like
Oh, okay.
the
I
new,
wanna see
the
that
new
movie.
Chucky, bruh. That's the new Chucky.
Yeah, it was good. It was pretty good. It it was I have my critiques, but overall it was a good movie.
Okay, well that's what's up. That's what's up. As far as me, man, I ain't do nothing but work. Trying to get some things moving here. But other than that, just kept it simple, man. Just stayed at the house all week and worked all week. Pretty much it. Works me kicking my butt, but it's all good. Of course, I'm gonna ask my normal question, which it looks like Mark may be the only one. What we drinking on? Anybody drinking on something?
No.
No.
Hashtag not sponsor.
That man, he got full black Air Force energy over there, man. He drinking Hennessy with a Scully on or a hoodie. And man, right after the show, y'all better watch your purses.
I wasn't prepared to be on, so I drank all my liquor last night.
The paid in full crew.
you needed to know so you go get some more.
I did, yeah, because it's literally right around the corner. I could have went and got it.
You know what's stopping you not, huh?
I ain't drinking much, but I always keep this close by hand.
Yeah, this thanks to my
You
twin
spent
brother,
like
man.
$100 on a pint trying to get that sent to your house.
They know who I am.
Yeah, my twin was like, go ahead and have some Hennessy. I don't even drink Hennessy, but I said, okay.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get into it, man. So, not last week because we had some technical difficulties. So sorry about the
what's
show
happening?
last week.
Okay, baby, go to sleep.
But this week we back. 2 weeks ago we talked about the alpha male versus alpha female. We went ahead and did the Google definition, which I'm gonna throw that back up there again. You know what I'm saying? Versus what we know growing up.
You want to cut my boo off? My boo over here looking fine. Hold on. You know what I'm saying?
What?
Cut my boo off.
I didn't. She wasn't even talking.
Anything,
I didn't cut nobody off.
you cutting that
I didn't hear
nigga off.
nobody say anything.
Right.
What's going on?
So, like I said, we were given our own definitions because Google got this shit real bland, right? Because in my eyes, a lot of people fall under these categories. Right?
Yeah.
This is just a generic deal, you know. Like I said, if this is what Google considers an alpha male all day, I'm him. But talking about what we see, you know, online and what we see in shows and what we see in the hood, you know, is this exactly what we consider being an alpha male? To me, it wasn't. You know, to me, it was more of you run shit in the house, you know, you do what I say, coming from either way. And then, you know, you got some people that, you know, dominate the entire relationship and beat on their boyfriends. We're not gonna bring that back up.
Oh my god.
We ain't gonna say nobody's name, Amber, but
Are you talking about this person right here? Oh, okay.
violent. Right, see, that was somebody leaving the house right now. They escaped. You better go get them. You better go get. I don't know how you got loose. I
I'm
just
not
saw
gonna
that.
even get into this.
You gotta come in the basement. You didn't do what I say.
What's going on?
Mark has officially ruined my reputation.
That's how Lauren in here. Lauren right now beating the hell out of a nigga.
Oh my god.
Right,
I don't know these definitions that you got here.
That's
All right, so
straight
let's
from
go
Google.
to the female, right?
That's straight from
So,
Google.
but okay, so I guess alpha male and alpha female has two different concepts, I guess, from what the internet says and from what we all think.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, and I guess that's kind of what I want to get at with y'all that's on here today. You know, 2 weeks ago was me, Mark, and LV. We gave our sides of the story, but I got Moan on here, Mel, and Amber. I want to get y'all side of the story. One, I want to know what you consider yourself. Do you consider yourself an alpha?
Now, take in mind, like I said in the last episode, you do have alpha, sigma, and beta males. Okay, just like same for females. Okay, alpha, sigma, and beta. It's more of them, but we just keep it simple.
We're gonna keep it real simple.
In the food chain, beta is the shortest. That's just what it is. That's just the pushover. Then you got the alpha and sigma, which is almost the same level, but they handle things differently. But they still take care of business. So that's just where we at right now.
So my
Well,
question.
what did you guys? Well, what did you guys say you were?
You didn't watch the episode? You supposed to
No.
watch the episode, man.
Oh, I did watch the episode, but I forgot. You know, I got a short-term memory
I'm
loss.
sorry, I ain't mean to get laugh. I ain't mean to lash out at you like
Here.
that. But
Here.
so prime example, I'm gonna use the exact same definition that I did in that per se. Beta is almost like the guy or the girl who's like, oh, what do you want to eat? Whatever you want to eat. What do you want to do? Whatever you want to do. That's kind of the
Oh,
beta.
so
It's just they just
a
pretty
whole
much
ass
talk.
nigga is that beta.
That's kind of a beta. An alpha, and I'm trying to use this in an image term. An alpha is more of a Jason Momoa type, and a sigma is more of a Tony Soprano type. Okay.
Mark, turn your bottle around before you get us kicked off the screen.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so
No,
this is what
fool.
happened, right? I know. You said turn around. But to be honest, okay, so like I said, Jason Momoa is more grounded, more act strong. He's still an alpha. And then you got Tony Soprano, who's a sigma. They both take care of business, but they do it in two different ways. They carry themselves in two different lights. So you might have Soprano in a $3,000 suit. He might care about his image, but he take care of his business. Then you might have somebody that's an alpha who really don't care what they look like, but they take care of business. So they're still on the same level, but they just do things different. So that's what we came up with the last time was beta, alpha, and sigma. So what would y'all consider yourselves? What category would y'all put yourselves in if y'all could put yourself in a category of what you feel you fit more into when it comes to those terms?
So like, I'm not gonna lie, I don't identify as either one. It's just kind of hard to because I know we're talking about the 3, but there's 6 personality types, and I feel like it is important to acknowledge those because there's different personality types that kind of overlap, but they stand in their own lane for different reasons. So if you're going to identify as one, you should know all 6 of them because so there's and again, I know we're trying to keep it simple, but just so it's more to it than like I think people focus on the extremes, the alpha, which is considered extremely dominant, and then the beta that's considered extremely submissive, but it's just not that simple. And I think a lot of people identify as these things based off of that, and it's not completely accurate. So there's alpha, there's beta, there's gamma, omega, delta, and sigma. So based off of those, I don't really
Thanks, though.
Boo boo nigga in here.
it's like I think because they all have like different desirable traits. I mean, I want to say I'm a sigma, but I just again, it's hard for me to say which one because they all have different like overlapping personality types. So if I had to pick one, I'll just say sigma, I guess.
Well, and that's I agree with that, Am, because it's kind of hard to completely identify yourself as an alpha, beta, sigma. There are traits that come from each one that can compile to make you one type of person. But it's hard to give yourself a title if you don't fit into that full category of what that definition may be. My definition of being an alpha to me is that's my peace. You know what I'm saying? If I provide peace for me and my family, I'm an alpha, and that's just me. That's my definition. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
At the end of the day, my job is to make sure everybody's taken care of, including myself. Even sometimes I may not put myself first. I want to make sure everybody is good, at least in my household. So like I said, with that gives me alpha energy. Now, whether that's being, financially stable or like Mark would say, get shit done, what I'm saying? May not care about my image, but I make sure I get shit done. I don't rely on anybody else to make it happen. That's my job. You know what I'm saying? And I don't rely on my wife to make all the decisions because that's just not how it's supposed to go. Especially when you're in a marriage, it's supposed to be teamwork. So, like I said, it's so many different definitions, so many different ways to look at it. I feel it's kind of hard to give yourself one title unless you're that type of person. If you're one of those people that feel you're alpha, then you're alpha all goddamn day. The only person that'll know different is the person that's fucking with you. If they say you're not an alpha, then you got something to argue about.
And I think one of the key. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, I think one of the key things to mention too is like, especially with alpha and sigmas, is the sigma is like, to me, what differentiates those two is because like they're both powerful in their own ways, like Mark was saying. But one of the key differences is that for alpha males or alpha people, alpha female, male, they tend to want to be the leader in every way that they can be. That's what drives them. So if, by that definition, that could be someone like Donald Trump. Like he drives on being the leader in everything that he does, whether he's like the richest or president, however that happened. Um, just his demeanor and how he is and wanting to be like just the leader of whatever it is that he's doing, that's considered an alpha male mentality. Now whether he is actually one or not, that's a whole different thing, but his mentality might be labeled as an alpha male mentality. Versus a sigma, they are also, powerful in their way, but they know when to step back. So if they know that they so like using your scenario about like a couple or a marriage, or like, having the wife lead in certain ways, a sigma, if they know that they don't do well in that area, they are okay with letting someone take over that part because they're more strategic. So but versus alphas, they tend to be a little more competitive. So but what's interesting to me is that with all these different personality types, alpha tends to be the most desired. Like it tends to be like that's what people want to be. I don't know why, because other personality types have, yeah, it's like on TV, social media is portrayed as this desirable trait or personality type, when there are other, even betas. Betas also have good personality traits with that, but they don't look at it that way. So no one wants to be a beta, like, even though it's okay to be one. So that's something I noticed that was interesting, that with all these different personality types, to me, the most desirable sounds to me is sigma. But alpha, again, is like something that everybody just wants to identify as because it just sounds like that's the thing to be.
That alpha sounds like top dog. Sounds like you're running everything. Mon, what was you getting ready to say, big dog?
I was just going to share that I am loving so we have a poll. I got to pronounce it because y'all ain't shit.
I got one too.
We have see what I'm saying? We got a poll going on YouTube, and the question is, do you consider yourself an alpha male and alpha female? And we got a few votes in here, and they're 50-50 right now. So if you guys are on our YouTube channel, please make sure you vote, because we want to know. We want to engage with you guys. I don't know. I guess I tip towards the beta and what is the third one? The sigma. Because I'm very passive on a lot of stuff. I am that guy sometimes because I love to, I guess you can call it, I like for my wife to do things before I even put myself first. So at times I am just whatever you want, so I'll just get whatever you get. Or, if you say yes, I'm cool with it until my back is up against the wall. And I think I've become an alpha at this point, but it's not a good one. I'm a right now type of guy. I don't know if that integrates with everything because I like answers right now, but at the same time, I like to figure things out on the spot and plan. I don't know how that relates, but it makes me feel like I jump between the three. But I'm beta a lot of the times until I'm put in a position to choose whether I want to be alpha or sigma. If you guys can understand what I'm saying.
Absolutely, I get it.
No, that makes sense, man. It like I said with these titles of alpha, beta, sigma, and all the other shit. You know what I'm saying? I think they're all situational. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can have a situation when you have to step up and put your alpha pants on, you know what I'm saying, and bark your orders. But like you said, Mo, sometimes you got to be passive because everything doesn't require an argument, or it has to be my way or no way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And once again, that's going off the definition of what I grew to know as an alpha, right? Not according to, like I said, not according to Google, but if I bark my orders, this is what I expect you to do. This is what you need to be doing. I'm not that guy, man. I don't want to be that guy because I feel like that guy's an asshole. You know what I'm saying? Amber gave the example of Donald Trump. Some people consider him the alpha. That motherfucker's an asshole, bro. And when you tend to be a alpha, a lot of people end up not liking your ass because you're an asshole. You know what I'm saying?
That's what happens with someone like that, and they've never had to experience anything we've ever experienced before. That life was given to him. You know, so he was always under this perception of he needs to be the guy at top in any situation.
Well,
which
and that's
is
what I'm saying.
alpha
But
in his nature.
in his defense, which I'll never really do that, but in his defense,
And his who?
because he was given that life
Mel, about to cut you off
doesn't
there.
mean that he had to
Don't defend him.
take that charge. You know what
No.
I'm saying? If
No,
given that life doesn't mean you had to take that charge.
Right,
you know,
right,
a lot
right.
of people are given that life and they don't give a fuck about anything or what's going on. They're just gonna do them because they got it. You know what I'm saying? He wants
Well,
to
that's
try to
him.
continue
That's part of him.
but he wants to try to continue to maintain it.
I mean, one thing I do want to tap into that we did kind of get into the last one. Big shout out to Lauren. That's where the big issue is, because that's one thing she covered. You know, a lot of people think you have to be an asshole to be an alpha male, and that type of characteristic waters down the idea. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, prime example, there's a lot of alpha males out there that are not assholes. They get the job done, they do it with aggression, but they're not assholes. They actually just go out there and do what they have to do. Unfortunately, there are
The Google way.
Huh?
The Google way. What we read.
Yeah, there you go. But then you got people in particular powers that abuses it and turn it into, oh, I'm an alpha male because I just treated like 10 people like shit to get where I'm at. And that's not, to me, that's not considered an alpha male. That's actually, it's the phrase, women born with it.
Stupid.
No, Jesus Christ. No, why would you say that? I was looking for pussy. That was what I was going to look for. But aside from that, because you don't have to be an asshole to show your dominance. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you don't even have to open your mouth to show your dominance. Sometimes it just resonate off you. So if you ever in a room and you have to say certain things and you have to portray yourself as certain type of things, 9 out of 10, you're probably far from what you think you are, because now you're trying to pretend to be something by going off being things that you consider as an alpha. And you probably the lowest of betas in some cases. But since you think I have to be an asshole and have to treat people this certain type of way, that makes me an alpha male. No one want to fuck with me because I push people over. That doesn't make you alpha male.
Now, I do want to add that when I brought up Donald Trump, just to clarify, unless someone finds an article where it says otherwise, he's never self-identified as an alpha male.
Yeah, he never had that.
And a lot of people, I think he's just how he is, just because that's how he is. Now, what Mark is describing to me is someone who is that person who, oh yeah, I'm an alpha male, and they identify, or alpha female or whatever, and then they try to portray what they think an alpha person is. And oftentimes when they do that, you're automatically coming off as an asshole because you're trying to be something that you are not. So when it comes down to people who are assholes, without even thinking about, like Donald Trump, he's an asshole, but he's not identifying himself as an alpha male anyway. But
He also don't identify himself as an asshole either.
All right, as an asshole, he doesn't. He's just how he operates how he operates for his own.
I mean, let's just be real, right? We'll act that same way if we had that type of money. I know, or some traits of it.
Well,
I would just be honest with you.
I mean, no, but I'm just saying that, when it comes down to a true alpha male in the heart, like someone who is really just a leader naturally and in their bloodline, almost, it's like they have to be. It's like a competition kind of with them. And if you let's break it down to I guess scientific terms. If you think about the wolf pack, right? Mm-hmm. I think that's kind of where the alpha thing almost came from, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be wrong. But if you think about the leader of the wolf pack, they're doing just what they're meant to do. So it's they're not. And if someone tries to, if they feel like they're being threatened, then they're going to show your teeth, because it's they're the leader of their pack, and you're going to know which one's the leader of the pack just by looking at them. You can tell which one is in charge, and just because that everybody else is following that wolf, the wolf pack is, you could tell that's just who they look to, and then I think it's the only way they can the alpha wolf can lose that position, I guess, is if he gets attacked or something like that by another wolf.
He gets his ass beat.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to say anything, but it's been a lot of times where I walked into places bottomless and people knew what it was.
This guy, man.
Hey, you got to establish dominance, okay? You got to let people know.
There's more than one way to establish it.
No, it's not. That's the only way. That's the only
Yeah.
way. You let them know the bigger the bowls, the more alpha I am. Okay.
I don't think that's how that works. Yeah.
Dude,
You
sorry,
go to jail.
sorry, I was just speaking facts. When I come out bottomless, they just like, oh wait, everybody move out the way.
Knock shit off the shelf.
Okay,
With them.
so then since we've all got our ideas of our own terms.
Well,
and
Mel didn't
ideas
say
of-
anything, and Lavorce didn't say anything.
I'm sorry. That was part of my fault. I talked.
No. Ralph trying to move on. They ain't even talk yet.
My bad. I wasn't trying to go too far, but go ahead, man.
I-
So let's
I'm
give,
cool
give
with
us.
There's a lot of information being taken in. Go ahead, man. I'm just,
Then Lavorce put you on the spot. Go ahead, Mel.
right.
Why you
Well,
do that,
to be
Lavorce?
honest,
You blew her up
I,
anyway.
I wasn't ready.
I like the necklace, man. That's a nice little heart shape.
As far as alpha female goes, I really, up until the part one, I kind of despised being called an alpha female. Like, I don't. To me, in my head, alpha just goes with male, the male gender.
Oh, okay, not your name. Okay.
But no, not my name.
It goes male.
I was so confused.
The male gender, that in my mind, it's always been like that. But then I'm looking at the definitions, and I kind of feel like Ralph. Like, if I look at the definition, then yeah, I might be an alpha female. But then I look at some of the other definitions.
Well, what makes you an alpha female? What traits you had that makes you that?
I've been told that I am dominant. I've been told that I am a leader. I mean, I know I've been in several leadership roles. What's funny?
They're
They're doing an insider. Just keep
It's
going.
inside
Anyway, but I also display gamma characteristics as well. So
Hold on. What's the gamma one again?
Radiation.
introverted,
This fool said radiation. I'm done.
love her. But after reading the definitions of
I still don't know. What is it?
Male is what's a gamma?
Yeah.
Gamma is like someone who's introverted,
Okay.
somebody who's sensitive,
I say you still don't know.
and that's me. But at the same time, I do have some alpha traits. So I wouldn't say that I'm fully alpha. I do have some traits, but I'm not fully alpha female. And I still kind of feel weird saying that because I've always just put alpha with male. And that's kind of a lot of people's take on it. Like, women shouldn't call themselves alpha because it's like the dominance and the taking over and the, just being extra. That's like always shunned upon with women. So I'm like, that ain't me, but it kind of is a little bit.
So you be beating on your dudes too?
No, I ain't never beat on nobody.
Didn't say anything like that. She didn't say anything like the Ike Turner residue, but she was just basically saying,
I ain't never
I
beat on
turned
nobody.
resident.
But leadership, I've always been in some aspect in a leadership role and
Okay.
in charge.
Oh,
Could I touch on something, or you want to go, LV?
Pause.
I was stuck too. I'm like, you just gonna ask Mel on live? Touch on something?
Oh my God!
Vizzle, what?
Go ahead, Mark.
Vizzle, go
cover-
ahead,
you
man.
whatever you
Give
want.
us something, brother.
Oh, over that.
No, I was just saying, when we talked about this last time, I'm more what Mom was talking about, man, a little bit of both. Because I can't be indecisive when it comes to things. I lean on my wife to say, hey, what you want to do tonight? I got no idea. She's like, well, we can do this. So, having that role as an alpha male, it is cool, but you know what I'm saying? But you got like the women in here, a lot of women we talk to are own alphas in their own mind. So with your significant other, it's just hard to have two alphas in the house.
Yeah, that don't work.
My wife is an alpha at work. She's a property manager, so she has that mentality for 10 hours a day, and then come home. And I'm kind of the same way in my job. So we come home, we both got to tone it down, where we're like, submissive to each other. Like, oh, what you want to do? Well, what you want to do? So we turn that off, while we're at home. So it's kind of hard to put it in one category of what I am because I'm a little bit of everything.
Mm-hmm.
so I wanted to answer. I'm sorry, I was wanted to answer Alex's question. She
Yeah,
was
I did
asking
want to touch on that.
Yeah, she said, does an alpha female mean being an independent woman? Not necessarily, in my opinion. Because I mean, this is just my opinion, going off of the definition of what an alpha person is that they drive on being the leader of something or like just being the leader in their situation. So they can be, happily married, but they strive on being the head of the household. Versus where Gamma is actually what Mel touched on. They tend to be more independent. Like they're more okay with being in their own lane. They don't have to be the leader of shit, pretty much. Like they're okay with being by themselves. Versus Alpha, they strive on being the leader of something or some group. So that's at least my take on it. You can be independent as an alpha, but that's usually not what they drive on. They drive on being the leader of a pack or of a group or household or whatever. Versus Gamma, they're okay with they don't care about the leadership part. They just like, look, I'm good on my own.
Well, and I wanted to touch on that as well. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of times that's what the definition kind of falls back to, is being independent, right? I don't need nobody. I can do this shit by myself. But you can't run your relationship with that same mentality. And I mean, I'm going to just say that across the board. That's not just something that I think. That's just something I know. Like you said, you can't have two alphas running that same thought process. Like, I don't need you. You know what I'm saying? I can do this by myself, because then you never really get out in a relationship. You're just doing that shit just to be there.
And see, and I think that's where I see the definition a little different, is that I don't see alpha as they don't need anybody. I think they know they need somebody, but they want to be in control of that.
They want to tell you how they need you,
how they want,
what way they need you, when they need you.
And that's why alphas are usually CEOs and shit like that, because they need people to be a CEO of something. They need what they call the little man. They need the people to work under them, but they want to have that CEO position. Whereas a Gamma and probably some other personality traits, some other ones that rather be independent. Like they don't care about that leadership role. So again, alphas, I think they are okay with being in a team as long as they are in charge of that team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with Robin's comment. She said people are multifaceted, and different scenarios require different traits, and that's why I say, like, I really didn't think I was an alpha, but I do have some alpha traits, but I also have some gamma traits. But then if I read everything else, I probably could pick up something that's in there too. Like, we are not, at no time can one person just be alpha all the time. Like LV was saying, him and his wife is in charge at work. He's in charge of the other kids at work. But when you come home, you can't be in charge like you were at work. You got to leave that at work, come home, switch some things up. Mm-hmm. Even the captain of a football team is not the captain in the line at the grocery store. Like, it's just not, you can't be that all the time. So I fully agree with
there's no leadership in two alphas in one place.
No.
If you want my opinion on it. Someone, and I'm not saying you have to submit, because that's not what that is, but somebody has to take charge and to not giving orders, but to get the job done no matter what it is. It ain't got to be work. It could be at home. And there's nothing wrong with people sharing the responsibility, because some folks are good at things than others.
Exactly.
And I think too, I think another thing to note is everyone has to adjust to their situation regardless. We're all human. You're it's just gonna happen. But I think the ability to adjust says more about what your personality trait is.
There you go.
So say if I'm an alpha at heart, right? Example. If I'm in a situation where I have to let someone take a lead in something, yeah, I might have to do it, but I might have a serious problem with that. And I might struggle with that a little bit more than someone else who's a beta male. You know what I'm saying? They might be okay with taking a seat or whatever. But granted, again, you're in a situation where you have to do that. You can adjust, but it does boil down to your ability to be able to adjust. Because an alpha person, example, if they're in a situation where they have to take a seat back and let someone lead, they're likely going to try and change the situation because they just don't. It's just not in them to let it happen. They'll probably be cool with it for a second because again, we're all human. We can't lead in everything. We can't take a seat back in everything. There's times where betas have to be the leader in something. In my case, I don't like leading that much. Like I get nervous with certain stuff. So, but I have been in a situation where I had to lead. And I did, and I was good at it. That's how I got my job. Actually, I ended up being a manager, and I never had a desire to be a manager of anything. But I adjusted, and I think that's where I feel like deep down I'm not a true alpha because it's not something I fought for. It's something that was given to me, and I was like, okay, I'll take it. I'm doing good at it, but So to me, your ability to adjust says a lot about what your personality trait truly is. So I do want to put that out there.
I like where you went where, Robin. I mean, dominatrix is.
What? Wait, let me read this. I believe most people try to find balance. That's why you find a lot of men in power who reach out. Oh, yes. Dominant. Because they need submissive role. Yes.
Oh, yes. Very good.
Yeah, no, like, but seriously, I don't want to turn it into that topic because I know that's not what we're talking about, but that is a serious thing. Like, it's people who desire.
All right now, Ralph.
You talking about the motherfuckers with the spike throat and the chain, and you dragging them across the floor and all that?
What's funny?
Wait
a
a
lot
minute,
of those
bro, that
men,
sounds like murder.
That sounds
but
like
a lot of people
It's not
who do that kind of
dominatrix.
stuff. Like, oh my god! But like, interestingly enough, for some of the people who do that, who like to be submissive in that area, they're usually dominant outside of that. So
I'm
that's
sorry.
why
I saw a video where the dude was tied up, and the girl, and she blindfolded him, and she took the plunger and slapped him on his body and pulled it back.
She stuck it to his body, and
He was mad as hell. He was mad. And what was so funny was he like let me out because he was ready to whoop her ass.
Can't always be trying something new out here.
See, that's why I'm straight. And I know my wife. She would do something like that, or like tie you to the bed instead of doing what she's supposed to do. Gonna tickle your feet. Now you can't get out.
Sounds bad.
Yes, these are the reasons why some people just won't even let that shit happen.
No, I'm not. No, and I know y'all. I don't want to be surprised. I get tied down.
First and foremost, I want to know why you think we're gonna be anywhere near you.
Right.
Tied up to a
Nowhere
bed.
near you.
Because y'all will be the one that'll stick a plunger to a body because I'm tied
I'm
up.
not doing
Thank
that.
you, Robin. You opened Pandora's box. Thank you.
Yeah, pause. Let's back the hell up. Oh.
She don't like feet.
All right. So with all that being said, right? We all have our definitions, our thoughts of what it is. What do you prefer? What do you prefer to be involved with? Do you prefer an alpha? Do you prefer someone that's completely submissive?
Chris, what's
Do you
happening?
prefer someone that's gonna go, no, we ain't doing that, but we doing this? Or someone that's like, it's whatever you want, or a happy medium?
I need medium. I can't take somebody just always wanting to be in charge of my life. I need medium. But also, I do need at the end of the day, if I'm just like, I don't know, I really don't know, I need you to be like, okay, well, this is what we're doing then. I need you to be able to take charge, but I don't want you to feel like you have to be in charge of me. Like, I'm not a kid. I've been raised already. Like, I'm good. But at the end of the day, I'm going to know that you
Here
are.
go Ashley.
I can do complete alpha. Majority alpha.
Yeah. Alex, I want somebody flexible too. But aside from that, what I'm saying is I've dealt with all of the aspects. In some cases, I have to say,
Pretzel shape.
when I don't know, my experiences of dealing with certain type of women, I'm pretty certain Amber can vouch. I've dealt with a beta woman, I've dealt with an alpha woman, I dealt with a sigma woman, I dealt with all of them, and I was just like, and it's funny because even when I was dealing with an alpha woman, she always would allow me to step in. Like, you know what I'm saying? And in a lot of cases, that was like a big plus. Like, but I don't want to say I've been with a for sure alpha woman in that case, because if I said that, then yeah, she probably would never let me take charge. But I have to say, out of all of that, I do need something in between, like something in between a sigma and alpha.
Oh,
I guess
cheeks.
because I don't want nobody where I gotta feel like I gotta hold their hand in everything. You know what I'm saying? Like it's cute when it's like, oh baby, but then I'll be like, baby, you don't have a mind of your own, baby face, and then it turns into something else. Like I feel like it turned into some. So I have to say, sigma and alpha is between both of them when it comes to women. It's okay to be, whatever y'all decide to do, but I do want to have some type of control somewhere. I don't want to just always be doing shit. Shit, I get tired.
Yeah, I don't particularly care because when a certain situation comes, and that's when something comes out of me. Just when my back is against the wall, that's when it's bad.
It just comes out of you. Just
all white stuff.
I knew he was going. I shouldn't have said shit. I set myself up.
But yeah, I don't particularly care. I be honest with y'all, like when my wife does that because I don't have to worry about it, and when she needs me, I do it. Then there are sometimes I surprise her and I take over. I'll do something and she loves it. But yeah, I'm not particular on it because I've dealt with, especially when we was out there, we dealt with all type of personalities and people.
Yes.
Well, when we was out there, we didn't give too much of a shit either. It was just like,
right.
What you willing to do tonight?
Yes.
See, like,
Are you gonna alpha me?
I'm the same way, bro. I need stability though. I need that well-rounded situation. Someone that's willing to take control and also allow me to take control when it needs to happen. It's funny because I hear a lot of people complain about the same situation, though, which is funny, where it's, hey, I don't really know what I want to do. Why don't you choose? Because that always turns into a fucking argument.
No, don't.
Yes, it does.
You ain't got to.
I hear you.
Sometimes.
I hear you.
Agree to disagree.
If you say, hey, what do you want to go eat? I don't know. But it was like, okay, we going here.
Well, yeah, now that does turn into like a scrap.
Yeah, I don't really want to go there. And I was like, wait a minute. So wait, you just told me to pick, so I picked. Okay, well, anywhere but that. Okay, well, how about here? No, I don't know about that either. Then don't fucking ask me. How about you tell me what you want?
You hear that, Robin? No word of advice about food and food.
You gotta say, well, guess who's not eating tonight, and then just leave the house.
Never accept that. Never accept.
Well, no, I'm not. Don't. That's not. Please, that's not serious.
No, I mean, the thing is that whole thing, right? Because people use that as an example. Like if I say I don't know what I want to do, and I want you to say, okay, this is what we're doing.
Because Alex told you to pick a stupid selection, and he won't say no.
Right. What you really want is for us to read your mind and tell you what you really want to be doing, and we can't do that.
Look, if you can't figure it out, how you combat that is, if we can't figure this shit out, we both gonna be at McDonald's at the play place. Okay?
Not the play place.
Do you want to go there? Okay. Or do you want to go to Logan's? Okay, because now I'm irritated. We both gonna be at the play place sliding down the slide with a Happy Meal. I bet you somebody make a decision in.
I'm not gonna lie, dog. I would pay top dollar to see you get on the slide.
Don't do it, because I would do that without having money.
I want to see you go down one of them tubes.
With the Happy Meal.
With the Happy Meal. That motherfucker gonna come out so slow.
I can't wait until the next fella's trip because we going straight to McDonald's to find one of the play places.
Going straight to McDonald's. We gonna watch you from the car. We gonna watch you from the car. And DB, I'm with you, dog. Like dinner will always start a fight, bro.
I told you what to do.
I feel like that situation, right? Like we said, some of this stuff is situational, right? This is where you almost have to let your alpha male shit go, because it's almost no way for you to pick the right choice.
Oh my God,
right?
Robin.
I think I'm about the only woman that
I don't like you, baby.
That doesn't mind a man picking where we go to eat. Like I don't mind because I'm like, I know how hard that is.
Hold on. Rob, I love you, right? Robin, fuck you. Okay.
Everybody said that,
Everybody saying the same thing, dog. Listen, I'm trying to tell you.
Oh my god!
If we get Moan to do this, I'm
Look
videotaping
at her. Come on.
it. One or two
I'm
things are
rapping
gonna
this
happen.
shit.
All right, either he's gonna come out of that boy looking like a turd, or they're gonna have to call the jaws of life to pry him out of that. The fire department is gonna be involved. Okay.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
shit,
What's
up,
happening?
Tavia?
What's going on?
So yeah, like I said, with certain
Hey,
situations,
mama.
man, you gotta let someone take
Hey,
control.
mama.
But the best part is the good part is you have to know when that needs to happen.
Yeah, because
When
it's
you-
situations. It's funny. I'm glad we got on that because there are situations where you have to know when to take a seat and when not to take a seat. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, say a home invasion. As a man, you
If a
can't be
nigga
like,
sit down
"Hey."
on the home invasion,
No,
something off
I'm
about
just
that.
saying. For a man, you can't be like, baby, go see what that noise was. certain things you
Hey,
can't.
hey,
You
I ain't
gotta
gonna hold
know
you
your
up. I
role.
might try my wife one time, like, cause I don't want to go see that shit either.
That's terrible. But in certain situations, you have to know your role. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't got nothing to do with anything else, but you just got to know when to step in and when to step out. And that's
Okay,
just
well,
how it
I don't
is.
know. Well, back to that. Who stated that the man got to go down first? Who stated that?
Who?
Because now we on the subject. You told somebody breaking the house, you gonna tell me to go see it?
That's called alpha male, dog. You
That's-
gotta,
no, it's
you
not.
gotta take, you
I'm
gotta
not
take the
down
alpha
at that
bullet,
point.
dog.
Now I want y'all to pay attention to what's happening right now. This is the beta sense that kicks in. Where he's saying he got to find a way to save himself and let his woman take the shot. So you know what I'm saying? That's understandable.
That's why you get the dog. The dog is the warning bait
Right,
shot.
I got two
Oh,
They
dogs.
shoot
My
the
two
dog smooth in the
dogs
head.
stop barking.
Everybody
That's
get out the house.
Right. All you if you hear that, boom, well,
Right.
time to
Yeah,
go out
I
the
know
other
we got a
window.
problem.
It's
My
time to
dogs
go
will bark. When they
opposite
stop barking,
direction.
I know we got a problem, and then we got to find an exit route.
It's just he supposed to know this shit.
So, but society made it to where men have to do it. What happened to equal rights and equal opportunity?
Are you
Y'all
serious
wouldn't do that
about to do
either?
this? Are we serious?
I'm
about
not
this?
this one.
Okay,
I'm
let
on
me.
this one.
I'm like, look, listen, Moan by himself
No.
on that one, dog. Moan by
Not
himself on that
everybody.
one, dog.
I guess to answer the question, the original question was, what do you prefer? I don't think I said which one I preferred. So, I guess for me, as long as you're confident with who you are, I'm fine with whichever. Because I definitely dated a beta male once, but he was insecure about it, and I could tell because he was trying to do things like Mark was saying, trying to be an alpha male, because I think he saw that's what I was used to dating. Not preferably, it wasn't like a thing that I was going for, but a lot of guys that I would talk to or whatever were kind of like a little rough around the edges. And I guess in his head that was, oh, okay, that's an alpha male. I want to be that because, and it didn't work out because he was trying to be something that he wasn't. So
he didn't know how to pretzel you. That's what that was.
Oh my god!
I just wanted to fuck with
Come
Mark.
on, dog.
I just wanted to mess with Mark.
Come on, bro. I swear to God, man.
Ain't
Something wrong.
there mamas watching?
All the way up.
But I like Mark. Mark be ready to throw up.
Yeah, but, hey, look, as soon as you said that, Mark looked real sick in the stomach, though.
Real fast,
All right, I'm done. I'm done.
real fast, real fast. In any situation you find yourself, okay, you tend to find yourself. You would know who you're dealing with when you approach this certain particular person. I'm almost certain women dealt with this as well. You know, if you at a bar or a club or anything like that, you know goddamn well what you're getting into just by the guys that's in the club, how they approach you, how they speak, how they carry themselves, how they might react to what you might say, and how they might react to what you might do. You know what you're dealing with. So in that aspect, it's okay to say, oh, I just want somebody real rounded, but you chose what you wanted the moment you got and started talking to certain people. Like, you know what I'm saying? You chose exactly what you wanted. So in a lot of places, like I said, unfortunately, in the times that we live in, you have a lot of people that might mask what they think they should be, and then y'all might fall for it, and then find out you with boo boo the food. This nigga, he wear diapers for a living. I'm not trying to take care of, I'm not making fun of no nigga that wear a diaper. But I guess if you wear one, I don't see how that makes you an alpha, but that's neither here nor there.
Whoa, wait. You saying somebody wear a diaper that can't be
Hey,
alpha
just
male,
know
bro?
it wasn't
When
me
they got
this time
shot,
that
they
said
gotta wear a
something
colostomy
weird.
bag or
I
something.
mean, I'm just saying. But that's what I'm saying. A lot of people, they don't know it. Y'all don't know it. A lot of y'all have chosen before you even got to know the person that this is what you wanted. And I'm almost certain I could bet any amount of money that the person you left the club with that particular day had to been in the form of an alpha. Because if a beta is there and he's trying to buy you a drink, he's gonna probably approach you first and be like, "Hey, what would you like to drink, honey?" Then you're like, "Bitch, bye." Then you're gonna leave that nigga at the bar. He's gonna be looking sad, and then you're gonna be sad as fuck. But then you might have an alpha. An alpha will buy you a drink. He don't even tell you he bought the drink. He just gets you the drink. He'll look at you from the side of the bar, do cheers, and that'd be the end of it. You'd be like, "God damn, girl, I'm gonna probably have to suck some dick tonight." But then you got a Sigma. A Sigma might buy you a drink, and he might be like, "Hey, what's your name? You know, would you like to dance? You know, what you into?" And you get these different scenarios. So when it happens that way, you choose before you even know you've chosen, and sometimes you get chosen as well.
What was the question?
I lost it to a while ago.
I'm sorry. I was trying to get away from this bullshit this nigga Ramon put out there.
Yeah,
Hold on,
no,
you just
yeah.
added bullshit to my bullshit.
It definitely deflected what he said before.
It did. I almost forgot what just happened with Mo. That was pretty good. It was
Pretty good. You like that, don't you?
Chris, what's happening?
What
Hey,
up,
Chris, man, we
Chris?
got to get you in here, dog. When we gonna get Chris in here?
No, we got it. You know what? I hit him up on the DM, man, and let him know, dog. We'll get him in here, man.
I thought he had a TV show where he was catching pedophiles. Keep it up, Chris Hansen.
But I say some bullshit, right?
That's Chris Hansen, not Chris Hassan.
Oh, Hassan.
I think I said Chris Hansen at one point. He sent me a message like, "Nigga, did you just call me?"
I know who y'all are. They call you Chris Hansen, but I call you Chris Hansen.
I don't know.
Alicia, it got real out of hand really
Way
fast.
That's how life goes, sweetheart.
Babe, let him buy you a drink. That's less money I gotta spend.
Mo's not a alpha beta. He's an opportunist. That's what he is. Mo is an opportunist.
Right.
Right.
I'm sorry, Miss May. I'm sorry.
I done save about $50 when they come. And just all you gotta do is like, "Thank you," and then turn them down. You got a free drink out of it.
What's going on, China?
Hey,
But, I
China.
mean, but you know what though? I don't understand. You know what? I was going to try to tackle what Mark was talking about, but I can't. I don't even see how this correlates, dog. Because
You gotta make it correlate.
there's no way for you to know if somebody's alpha. I mean,
That's
I can
what
see.
I said.
You
I
can
don't know.
tell
I don't know.
somebody's
I'm pretty good at picking up people when you first meet them.
Yeah, you pick it
Sometimes
up.
people give away their personality by their handshake. You know, sometimes the way they walk. You know, you may not be able to determine if they're alpha or sigma because they so related, but you can determine if they're from beta to alpha.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or it could be
You know
because
when
they're
you
like
see
two
it. You know when
opposites.
you see it. Amber, no, I approached a lot of her boyfriends, and when I approach them niggas shut the fuck down. I don't know why, but then I be looking at them like,
I'm
what's
so
wrong?
glad you finished that.
I know because I have to because y'all. I don't know why y'all got this thing. Where y'all really want the LGBT to come after me, and I don't.
All
know
I
why.
heard was you approached all her boyfriends. I was done.
It's that dude over there.
Right, don't put me in that category, dog. I ain't say nothing.
I didn't say
Okay.
that.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so
No,
sorry.
man, but you know what? Out of respect, though, if they feel a certain type of way when you approach them, that means that they respect your sister because they want to make sure that they have a good impression on you if they want to date her. That's how I look at it. You know, so
And then it was too. I mean, you know, like I'm younger than my brothers by what 8-9 years. So of course, when any of them heard they was about to meet my older brother, they was kind of like
that's good. They were raised right. They feel like they need to impress the older sibling.
that face right there that Mark got right now. Mark looked like he ready to shoot a nigga for no reason.
Yep.
But we all know Mark ain't
Well,
about
I'm
to shoot
actually
somebody.
I'm smiling like a motherfucker. I got like one of them Joker smiles.
Still
on, right?
smiling.
I am smiling. And Robin's got a good point, man. I mean, the way Robin came at me, it was major alpha energy, because I even told her like, I'm dealing with somebody right now, and she was like, okay, well, when that shit don't work out, let me know. I'm like, oh shit. Okay.
All right.
Get him, Robin.
All right. So the poll that we have here for the scale,
Oh,
because y'all some fools. We got 11 votes in.
oh, y'all talking
and
about
a
that.
lot-
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
and
I'm
we
sorry.
are 55% alpha male and 45% female. If you guys are on YouTube, you can participate in the poll that we got up here because we want to know. We want to know what y'all are. So if you're on Facebook, I know it sucks. I haven't figured out how to do Facebook poll yet, but switch over to YouTube, put our name in, anyandeverything.com, and go vote because we take these results and we talk about the stuff in the background whenever we get the opportunity. And we like to come up with other subjects that may relate to it to keep this conversation engaged. So I just wanted to put that out there, and we got a nice amount of votes. 11 votes. I don't think we ever had 11 at one show.
I really like for people to actually say what they determine some of us to be in their eyes.
I mean, since there's what 15 people,
Yes, our.
Like our own people to actually chime in and say what they would determine us to be in some lights.
I want to know what
man.
y'all are. Do y'all
I wanna
consider
know.
yourself? What's all 6 categories? You got alpha, beta, sigma, gamma, and what's the is it
Delta
6 or
and
5 or 6?
it's 6.
I mean, they
Okay.
would have to actually know.
Yeah, I mean, well, we can stick to just a 3 because I think most people know like with sigma, beta, and alpha is, but the other 2, omega and delta. And sorry, I'm having.
I got you trying to.
You got it, Mom.
Hey, yeah, Mo, can you drop the YouTube link in there?
Yeah, I'm trying to do it now.
All right. Hey, Tavia, you know, I wanna touch on that too. All right. You know, it's not somebody technically being scared, right? If somebody comes up to you and they're trying to start some shit, there's more than one option to just scrap it. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, that may be what it turns into. But are you considered a bitch if you're trying to talk the situation out of being worse than what it already is?
Oh, that's a good one.
You know, if somebody accidentally stepped on someone's shoe, which, you know, you got a bunch of motherfuckers out here that's ready to scrap right immediately, man, you don't know watch where the hell you going. Like, look, it's real easy for you to go ahead and turn around like, bitch, who you talking to, square up, or is it my bad, man? Didn't mean to. It was an accident. Am I a bitch for saying it was an accident because it's exactly what it was? Or should I just go ahead and swing because he's ready to swing? Because to me, once again, being an alpha is maintaining your peace. I'm not about to run from no fight, but I'm not about to incite a fight for no reason. You know what I'm saying? I'm not about to get into a fight over something real stupid. Now, it's different if you don't put your hands on my lady, or, you know,
Oh, damn, Alex.
you're trying to put your hand.
I claimed that I was a beta. I know I am.
Damn, that's fucked up.
Okay, hold on, because again, this is bringing my point. What I said earlier is that betas are, I don't know if she's playing or not, but betas are being viewed as being a negative, and it shouldn't be. But
Ooh, see, yeah, fine.
That's very true.
According
very
to what
true.
I see, it says
That's true.
betas are the ideal husband type. So
Appreciate that, Alex.
that's actually a good point, Mel. I think I heard that too.
I appreciate that, Alex. I think that I'm my ideal
works
husband
a
type
lot,
too.
but overshadowed by his peers.
And like I said, you know, that turns around to where, you know, you pick and choose your battles. Not every battle deserves a fight.
Yeah, because I'm about to say, if that's the case, no wonder a lot of niggas get cheated on in marriage.
You're done. Put it down.
right. He done.
and I agree. You know what I'm saying? A true alpha male doesn't have to be extra to establish his dominance. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I just covered.
You don't have to
be
walk
an
in the room and point out to everybody you're the biggest bad motherfucker in the room. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta say it. You're probably not that.
You're probably
that-
not that.
Yeah, you probably.
You're probably not.
If you, I was gonna say, like, anytime somebody like identifies as a alpha anything, is kind of a to me, you're probably likely the opposite. Because I know, like, when me and Patrick first started dating or whatever, like, we had a conversation about that. He personally hates the term, especially now, like, because it's just getting turned into something else.
Mhm.
But he gets approached differently though. Like, it's weird because and again, it depends on what you consider an alpha male in the situation that you're in, because he's been in situations where he had to be dominant for different reasons. I'll just say that. And he was telling me like how people would like guys would walk up to him and for some reason would feel the need to impress him by telling them, "Oh yeah, I went to jail because of this, and one time I had robbed this dude," and he's just standing there like, okay,
Cool story, bro.
right? Like, what do I give off where you feel like you need to tell me your stories of when what you were doing in the streets? But again, it just depends on the demeanor somebody gives off, and again, he does not consider himself an alpha male. We had this conversation. He said he just don't like the term. He just
because it's washed out.
yeah. He's like I do not consider myself an alpha male, but he just don't like. And I don't like using it either now because it's just gotten social media then turned into something else, and then it's making it to where it's being viewed as something that's like preferable, like I said, or preferable. I want to pronounce it, but but yeah, again, like beta, like people thinking that if you call somebody a beta, that's supposed to be offensive, and it's like, and it's nothing wrong with it.
Well, from this whole situation, just from off this podcast alone, I feel like the title of alpha male, you need to be able to lump something more than just one title, right? You can consider yourself an alpha male, but you want to have some beta in there. You want to have all these different traits to be the best person you want to be. You know what I'm saying? You got to know that you ain't no bitch, but you got to know that you ain't ready to scrap all the time. You got to know that there's not always a time to argue, but it's also a time to figure some things out. You know what I'm saying? You got to learn when to take charge and when to let someone else take charge. And to me, that's just lumping them all together. I can't give myself just one title. I'm a different one in every different situation. Like I said, it's situational. It is a balance. It's a life balance. If you say you alpha all the time, 9 times out of 10, you probably ain't got long-term relationships. You know what I'm saying?
In your body.
Right. And and if you gotta state it, like I said before, if you gotta say, oh, you know what, I'm big dog, I'm alpha, you're probably not. You know what I'm saying? It's cool to say you're alpha in certain situations, but to label yourself as alpha all the way through and through, I think is a mistake.
Don't work like that.
But that's just coming from me. With that being said, we're an hour and 5 minutes in. So I think it's about time to bring it down to a close. We've hit our hour mark. I do want to say I appreciate everybody coming through, sliding in. Hopefully, we can start having more guests, different faces, some different people. I would love to have.
Tired of looking at you, motherfucker.
Well, I'm saying I would love to have some of our audience.
I like that, China.
Chinette, you coming on? Put on the spot real quick.
And also, depending on which peer group I'm hanging with, I fall back and allow other leaders. See, and that's the thing, some people that are big time alphas in their everyday life, they like to let other people take control because you always the one making the calls and pulling the shots. So it's okay to let someone else say, you know what, why don't we go do this? And you're like, you know what, I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to take can't think of the word, but when somebody makes
a back seat, huh?
Yeah, it's okay to take a back seat. It's okay to always not be the one in control.
Or not even the back seat, just in the passenger seat.
Something like that, yeah. Ride shotgun.
That's it.
Hold on, here. Ramon, before we go. Here, I found this.
My ass is interested too. I'm looking at the camera like.
In the meantime, y'all, please go ahead. And with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and shut it down. Appreciate everybody for coming through. I'll let your boy.
Also, before we go, Chinette, always open invitation whenever you can. We know you're busy. Chris, same thing. DB would love to have you on. So any of our audience members and all are welcome. All you guys got to do is just reach out. We don't try to pressure anybody. We know people are busy. So anytime open invitation.
And stay tuned for the new sponsor coming up next week. Holla at your boy.
We got another sponsor. So.
We out.